Hi guys, my name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton Sehan, and I was just going to share a little bit tonight about a personal situation that just happened, because usually when stuff like this happens to me, there's maybe one or two people out there kind of going through it and or can learn from it or save some time, even if it's like one person that's listening or watching. You never know what is going to help. And the topic for tonight has to do with quantum restoration, the subconscious, and that healing that takes place in the DNA. Also, synchronicities, which I spelled wrong. Building a victorious timeline. Let me fix that. But why I am fixing that, can you please tell me where you are? I'd love to see. I see a bunch of you guys jumped on. Synchronicities. I hope that's spelled right. I'd love to see where you are, what you guys are doing tonight in the comments. And if you've ever seen my show, that would be cool just to know like who's new, who isn't. And maybe someone can tell me how to spell synchronicities so I can do this right. But yeah, I'm actually, this is going to be a very personal discussion, and also I am totally up for questions, Q&A. I love Q&A. If anybody has some things that they would like to ask regarding restoration, wholeness, timelines, synchronicities, even if I can't spell it, I can talk about it. Just being honest. Synchronicities. Okay, I did spell it right. Never mind. It just looks weird. Has that ever happened where you like look at something and you're like, that can't be right? Synchronicities. It's telling me something else. Synchronous city. That's it. Wow. It honestly looks really weird right now to me. I don't know why, but it just doesn't look, I don't know. You ever look at something so much that it's like, that it can't be right, but it really is. So yeah, synchronicities, the quantum realm is so crazy. And what we're seeing in this shift is pretty fabulous. And I was just going to share, hey, synchronicities. Thanks, you guys. You guys are so helpful. We got Boulder in the house. Let's see. I'm going to share some of you guys. Hey, Melody, what's up? Thank you, synchronicity people. Did I get it? Can you guys see it on there? Plura, Fawn, what a cool name. We have Ohio. Brenda's in here. We got Pennsylvania. Yes, Florida in the house. We got North Carolina. We got Connecticut here. We have, where else? Let's see. Good evening. We have Colorado. Woohoo. Mountains. Love it. Florida. We got Illinois. We got Idaho. Hey, MJ. What's up, Tammy Todd? How's it going? Yeah, synchronicities, restoration. Obviously, this is a hot topic for now. And this has been my life work. Well, I say life work, 20, 30 years. But this is a very sacred conversation that I'm going to have because it's personal. And I don't always go into personal, but, you know, sometimes that's where you go. So if y'all want to hang on, it ain't going to be a long, long time. But I do think that it's important to share, even to Australia and Canada and Ohio and New Jersey and New Zealand. Yeah, for all the people in the States that are up and going here. It's Friday night. So, you know, if we were all together, we could hang out and watch a movie. But since we're not, then I'll just sit back with all my drinks. Everyone always laughs at me because I have multiple drinks around me at all times that I'm drinking. Tea and water and green juice. You guys drinking anything? You know, eating is overrated. But while we're getting people popping on from, let's see, Diane Anderson's here. Good to see you, Diane. Hey, not accepting my friendship. Well, what the heck? I'm going to have to figure that out, Serena. So why won't Facebook let me have more friends? What the heck? I'm not even going to go there about the scalar waves of Efferberg. But that's another story. So we got Louisville here. We got ginger juice. Someone's drinking ginger juice. Hey, Patrick, what's up? More New Zealand people. Nice to see you, Ann. Awesome. Drinking rainbow unicorn bang. That is actually pretty tasty. I've tried it myself, MJ. Cool. So here we go. Before I went to Montana, okay, let me back up. My mom and I had a plan to go to Montana, where I'm from originally, to go see my grandmother. And my mom has some things going on, so I want to make sure that I could go with her so she wouldn't be by herself. And I've been home a couple times just recently, now that some of this stuff has slowed down. And there's actually some family there that I didn't go see the last couple times that I've been there, just because there's been a little bit of a gap in communication because of some things that have taken place on our belief systems. They've been kind of polar opposite, and it's caused a thing or two in the past. And so I went home this 2 or 3 last times. I didn't go do anything to go see them, and it's fine. And so anyway, this time wasn't going to be any different. Thanks. And anyway, my daughter went into labor. She's in Seattle. So I took a little detour. Instead of going home to Montana, I went up to help my beautiful daughter be there with the baby coming, and my first grandbaby, Cody, who is quite a story in itself. I'll just tell you a few things. He was conceived on 9/21, and he was named after my grandfather, Bennett, his middle name, not his first name. Now, look, your first name is who you are for everybody watching. Your second name is your call. Very important. So he's named Cody Bennett, and Cody from Dakota, friend, and Bennett. We weren't sure what it meant, but he was conceived on 9/21, born just this last month here in 2021. His mother is 21, his father's 21. Middle name. There's a lot of activation that helped with this little one coming in. If I told you all the things that this guy was doing behind the scenes before he incarnated, we've been trying to move and get power and get all this stuff set up. And, with the C word, there's been like everything isn't open and stuff is hard to buy, like furniture and things like that, from when we had our tornado and it took the house down. And so, but along the way, we get CJ, which is the initials of Cody. We had a CJ guy show up for electronical, Cody show up to help with the trailer, another Cody with the furniture. I mean, Cody's been working overtime before Cody even got here. So I was like, this is so funny how God is just, using us before we go. But yes, your first name is who you are, and your second name is your call, Serena. So anyway, he was born, and my grandfather was born on 9/21/1921. So Cody's birth was conceived on 9/21, 100 years later. And all these 9/21. I've been seeing 9/21 everywhere because it's just my grandfather to me saying hi. Now, the other backstory is I've been watching Ragnarok, and that's fine if you have never seen it. It's the backstory of Thor, and my background, my history is Norwegian and Viking and a lot of Scandinavian history. I've been to Norway, Denmark, all those places. It's been cool. And yeah, so Ragnarok is the backstory. It's a series on Netflix. It's kind of interesting if you're into that kind of stuff, but mostly it's the scenery that is in this film. And I knew it was just like, oh my gosh, where is this filmed? Because it's actually Norwegian, and it's dubbed in English, and I just watch the bottom part, but you can hear it in English, and everyone dresses, it's modern day, but you could tell it's a little Norwegian, and I'm a big fan. So like here I am. I don't know anything about mythology. I've seen the Marvel movies. Does that count? Probably not. And Thor's already, always been an interest into me. And my husband suggested this show, so I'm watching this show, and like every scene is like, oh my gosh. So I look up to see where this was made, and of course, it's literally made 114 miles away from where all my people are, because I still have a lot of family in Norway, and that's pretty cool. Hey, Carmen. So anyway, again, going forward, back to this timeline, we're going to talk about how to shift your timeline, and how this is going to apply to you. I swear to God, like if you just hang in there, I know. But we're going to Montana, and Montana, by the way, looks a lot like Norway. So it makes sense that all the Norway people would move here in the 1900s to be here, because it's a super awesome place in Montana. And but anyway, I go to Montana. Daughter has a baby. The baby just is freaking awesome, because I mean everybody's grandchildren are, and that's just how it is. But I was gonna stay just a few days and then catch my mom on the back end, right, and head over from Seattle back to Montana, and then fly home with her, right? So I'm on the fence if I'm gonna go back to Louisiana and then go get mom, or not go get mom, and all this stuff. Just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. And I get this inbox message from someone on Instagram who just received my cards, and she actually got my cards in the mail in the middle of nowhere, 90 miles from nowhere. She's literally in a tent on a mountain, and mail person brings her mail, which is my card deck. So she's showing me a picture of her card deck, and she's saying, hey, thank you, this is so amazing, I've already had all these testimonies. I actually saw these cards she was telling me she saw the cards in this Theta Healing Center, and that she was using them with her Theta healing sessions, and that she put it on her imagination board, her outcome map board, so to manifest her own cards. So she wanted her own deck. And lo and behold, just like a week later, she's out in the woods on the mountains, and someone hand delivers this package to her in the mountains. And so she's now texting me, sending me a picture. I'm on the fence. I'm looking at flights. Do I go to Louisiana? Do I go to Montana? What am I doing? And she's like, hey, I would love to meet you. These are so great. I'm using them with my sessions for my theta healing. And, I heard that you're from Montana. Maybe we can meet sometime. And so I text her and I'm like, yes, that's amazing. I'm so glad you got your cards. I'd love to meet you too. I was like, where are you located? She tells me where she's located, and it happens to be the exact city that I'm going to where I was going to go. So I'm like, wow, synchronicities, right? So I'm thinking, yeah, I think probably this might be the path that I'm supposed to go. And I go ahead and book my ticket to go. I let her know that I'm coming. And there were other people that I got to visit along the way, including Laura and some other people. So that's fun. And just my family in general. So, okay, my phone is being annoying. Sorry. There we go. So I get my ticket. I head over, and we, before I'm going, I go see this doctor, Dr. Lucky, who you guys have probably heard me talk about him. And he actually was saying how he kept picking up my grandfather in the field. And, he's muscle testing me, and he keeps showing up like something with my grandfather on my mom's side, which is Bennett. So it makes kind of sense, because all of this stuff is happening about Norway, and about, Cody being born, Cody Bennett, and all the numbers, 921. And here it is 100 years later, and he's conceived, and blah, blah, blah. So he acknowledges that, and then we move on, and we're doing our other healing stuff. I go to Montana, and I go to set up to meet with this girl, and I'm like, I'd love to interview you. I'd love to be able to see how you do a theta session, just so I can know how you're using the cards with the theta session. It would just be so cool to see, you know, how you're using these modalities for your, you know, seeing people get healed. And yeah, so I go up there and we meet, and she's got her cards and there's crystals everywhere, and it's just a fun time. And she immediately goes into this session where she's like, I'm picking up this like fight energy kind of stuff. I'm not sure what's going on, but something about your grandfather on your mom's side, you know, I don't know. It's like this warrior thing, you know, I'm not sure, you know, she's asking, have you been seeing anything come up in the field, you know, that would represent that? And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's kind of interesting that you're bringing it up, because just recently I had, you know, this thing that happened with Dr. Lucky. It was coming up then. You know, I was like, I went ahead and looked up what Bennett's name means and what his middle name means, because they were asking specifically, what is the middle name? It's something with the middle name. And I didn't know. So I called my mom, and my mom's like, it means, his middle name is Ingwald. And I'm like, okay. Didn't know what that meant. Had to look it up. And as I look it up, my mom tells me it came from his mom, who's Inga, and then Wald. So I look up Inga first. You guys, it means God. Inga means God, which is wow, right? So my great grandmother, every time I called her Inga, I was saying God. That's kind of amazing, interesting, right? And then Wald means ruler. So my grandfather's middle name and or his call was Ingwald, which is God ruler. So you know, I'm looking all this up, whatever. I know this. We're not having this discussion with the lady, but she's sitting there, and all of a sudden she says, I know this is crazy, but I'm just going to go with it. This is something I'm picking up. You know, let's muscle test you. And I want you to say this out loud. And if you know, when you say it out loud, we're going to see where it goes. If it doesn't go with you, fine. Don't worry about it. So she says, I want you to say, I must rule gods. And I was like, I must rule gods. And she's like, yeah, just say I must rule gods. So I say it, and immediately I am strong and shocked a little bit, because, you know, the subconscious doesn't always know what the belief system is, but here I am having a belief system that I must rule gods. Interesting. So, you know, she says, what does that mean to you? And I was like, well, I guess to me in modern day, that would be like, you know, the gods of pharmakia, the gods of education, entertainment, you know, whatever. And thinking, wow, that I didn't know that there was such a need, because it was like, I must, you know. And she asked me a little bit about my grandfather. My grandfather wasn't a fighter. I mean, he's not like this brawling, you know, big. I mean, he was a big dude, but he wasn't like, let's go fight everybody, you know. So I kind of explained that he's, you know, just an amazing, loving, kind person that everybody liked. You know, he demanded honor and respect, but it was just out of his presence and who he is. It wasn't because he, like, you know, strong-armed anybody or manipulated or, you know, held a fist to them to make them do anything. So, so she says, would you like to shift the cells now, so your cells can recode to the essence or the now of having everything that you're looking for without the fight, like just getting the resolve without any fight involved at all. And, you know, it's different because my name is Sharnael, Sharnael of God. Sharna is warrior and rose of God. And, you know, that's a little bit of a polar opposite. But, you know, it is the femme and the divine male, you know, mix, I guess, of, you know, just the warrior and the rose. And, you know, sometimes I've majored in the warrior and sometimes I've majored in the rose. And, you know, I that balance is fun and easy for sure. And so I just kind of said, I would absolutely love that, because I know that whatever the cells believe or are programmed to radiate, right? Because the biofield, if you read my book, it talks about changing the biofield, changing the cells to reflect a different field, because their cells actually project. And when they project, they go out and the biofield radiates out, but also magnetizes into you in your life. And so that's where we get these patterns. Is it's not happening to us. We're creating it as we go. So again, I welcome any questions if you guys are getting stuff like, or getting ahas or questions along the way. But so I told the lady, I was like, I would absolutely love that. And a matter of fact, one of my major decrees, or my favorite decrees, is I ignite Christ in everyone I contact. And when I remember that, I have pretty good results. I don't always remember that cancel clear, but I choose to remember, love, and stay. So that is what I radiate and also what I magnetize. And I look at it like kind of like a sun. The sun is blazing. The sun is radiating. God is radiating. You can go out and you can like yell at the sun. You can throw sticks at the sun. You can be mad at the sun. The sun's still going to be the sun. It just blasts and radiates, and it is. That's how God is. God just is. God is love, and God is going to do what God does. And on the opposite, we can be more like a sponge that takes on everything around us, and that's not fun and easy. So, I prefer not only radiating love and truth, but igniting everyone that comes into my contact, everyone that comes to me, everyone that, whether it's you right now or any show that I ever do, anything I write, any place I go, post office, wherever. When I remember, I ignite the Christ in everyone I contact. I actually have pretty good results. So I said this to her and I said, hey, let's do it. Let's shift it. I prefer permanent love in the cells to stay. And like, as we start, this like prayer decree thing, we're just sitting there in front of this ginormous smoky quartz, like bigger than me, which is pretty cool. This raven comes into the tree and is like, crowing, or I don't know, what does a raven do? Crying? Not like crying, shouting, cacawing. What's a raven do? I'd love to know. Can someone tell me what a raven does? But raven talking. And she's a little distracted. I'm not. I just cry even more, because I know that ravens have to do with the seer's prophecy and the whole Norse everything and all of Norway stuff. And for me, I'm just like, oh my God. And I just bawl, because I know all of the earth was there in that moment to help me through this session, to shift for me, to shift with me. So, she's like, oh, okay. And then this deer, a mama deer, comes up like 15, 20 feet from us, just right, literally behind the smoky quartz that's right in front of me, with 2 twin baby deers. That's a whole other story, but they're fawns. I know there's fawns on here. Spots, and just cute, literally acting like totally tame, and like I feel like Snow White, literally. Like I'm just like, oh my God, all my animals are here, they're all helping, this is great. Everything submits to God when we're in God and when we're love. This is the kind of stuff that happens. So now reminding you that this all happened, and then I leave, I go home, do my thing. Actually, I left and went to Laura's, and we that night, and I'm just like overwhelmed. Interviewed Sasha Stone that night, great interview. And I realized that after I did my session, I left I had a Labradorite rock in my pocket, and it like must have came out during the session. So I was like, oh my God, please help me remember where my rock is. And we drove back, which just happened to be like another synchronicity, of course, that my rock just needed a little more time there to record everything before I took it. And whatever else happened while I was gone, who knows? And then Laura got to see all these great stones, and we had a good fun time, hanging out with all these ginormous crystals, and that was fun. But so yeah, got the rock, came back, and the next day would have been the day that I was supposed to go to this other city where my mom would be. And I was just, up until that point, dreading going. I was actually going to try to be late so I wouldn't see people. But instead, after this session, I felt such a flip, like 180, to wanting to dodge the whole situation to an urgency to freaking go see my favorite cousin and my family, even though there had been such a crazy rift over this last year. And it just didn't even matter because I knew that I ignite the Christ in everyone I contact. And I knew that everything's awesome and God is the only power and presence acting here. And I felt the actual shift within me in my cells. I literally felt it, and I'm still there. I feel it. I don't know. Maybe you guys do the same activation, be there, and definitely you guys can have the same response. Now look, got up at the break of dawn on purpose, and I am not an early person, and definitely Laura isn't either, but I got up early, got out of there, told them goodnight the night before, so I left that early, drove a little bit over 3 hours to go racing to go see my family. And when I pull up into this house, my cousin is waiting for me outside. And when she's there, I just ran to her and we hugged like nothing ever happened at all. Nothing. And it was just, all I felt was just immense love and gratitude. For being able to be there and to see her and everybody, actually, all of them. And it was just such a homecoming and such a beautiful situation that happened. And of course, there was just songs on the way and the weather. And I mean, there's just wind. I swear I'm going to start a wind therapy group that's like, you know, motorcycles and Jeeps and beaches and boats and whatever ways you get wind. My husband's like, what are you going to do? Get like a box fan and charge $2 an hour? I'm like, no, there's something to pneuma therapy. There's got to be, because windows down, driving with the sun, and just God was just so present. And my mom afterwards had shot me a picture. I didn't know she took a picture. Well, she shot me a picture of the homecoming. And I was just like, what? I'm going to show you guys this picture because it is pretty radical. But that is the picture. Let me see. Let me get it big. Yeah. So take a look at what love looks like when we connected and we were there. That little thing showed up, whatever that is, who knows? And it was pretty freaking, the feeling there was amazing and still is, just even watching that. And who knows what this little guy is, but I guess just there helping out with the situation. So yeah, so quantum is real. Quantum happened before I even got there. So quantum happened instantly with me. I say quantum because there's no time and space, and we can all go for like the hard, long therapies and the hard, long choices, or we can go for the instant. Now, we know biblically there's a lot of therapeo type healings, hardly any instant healings. I think like 3 out of hundreds that are in the Bible, but most of them are just over time making decisions that change things and shift things because of cause and effect. But I would love to hear any of your feedback on what you think this is. And actually, I'm going to pick a card while we're here because, you know, maybe somebody here is in the mood for a theta healing. I'll just pick a card and we will just believe. Carmen's here. Hey, Carmen, we were just on a few minutes ago. I'm just going to believe that someone on here is going to have an activation for healing and restoration in your family and in your heart and in your cells right now. And that it's going to be quick and fun and easy. Anybody want one of those? Okay, so of course I picked this card. Everybody see that? Awesome. And this is what it is, pink aura quartz. I'm going to read it. Anybody just grab a hold to that and just you can quantumly receive that. Yeah, someone is saying, I would like healing too for my dad. So healing is just creating in your mind, and theta is the creation area of the brain. So theta healing is just imagination activation, already seeing it done, seeing it finish, and then saying, now that this has happened, what am I doing differently? What's new and different for me? And then really asking yourself, would you like to have the feeling of restoration? Would you like to remember how it feels like to completely be able to walk into a room and ignite the room with Christ consciousness without having to fight? Like that was mine, for example. It's just the feeling and remembering to remember, meaning do again, member, come together in union, surrender in God, divine, and to reflect God in that place. So pink quartz, I'm going to read it. It says, pink aura quartz is formed by bonding quartz with platinum. Pink or rose quartz speaks of innocence and purity, divine love, and definitely works with the heart energy center. Of course! What? That's the one we get. And it says, this crystal is key to remembering unconditional self-love and acceptance. The decree is, I am pure love, and so is my world. The companion oils for this are tangerine, spruce, myrrh, jasmine, and rose. So for anyone who is out there that's ready for a shift, definitely just say, I receive, and look at that, love. And I remember love, and I remember the feeling of igniting Christ in everyone I contact without any fight. Actually, don't even talk about fight. I remember igniting Christ and everyone I contact. I remember that my journey here is love. I command and demand that every one of my cells radiates love, truth, and light now. Divine love, divine truth, divine light now. And that is my biofield. That is my truth. That is my belief. I am alive in it. I be alive in love, light, and truth now. God is the only power and presence acting here. If that's what you agree to and you receive, then you can program yourselves to do that very thing, and you can have your own divine miracles as quick and easy as I did. I wasn't trying, you guys. So I had no idea what the response from heaven would be and what shifts and patterns that I would have. So definitely, definitely just wanted to share that. And yeah, we got some people who are receiving that. I received that. I received that. I remember surrender. I am that I am. That's a good one. Yes, Carmen receives that. Awesome. With your cousin, was it connected to something with grandpa? She is on. Oh my God. Thank you for bringing that up, Rachel. Oh my God. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot to tell you this part. Thank you for helping me to remember. My very first tattoo was with my cousin. And guess what our tattoo was? We got the initials of my grandfather, BK, Bennett Crone. It was his brand for the cows and, for the farm, for the ranch that he lived on. And talk about a covenant connection that we had with each other, but also with my grandfather. So, I mean, that's a blood covenant, not knowing that we had done that, but that was my very first tattoo. We went as kids, kids-ish, I say I'm 50 now. Kids is like relative, but we were young adults. We were of age to get a tattoo, but that was my first tattoo and hers. And we both went and got that brand on our right hip, which that's a whole different thing of, hips having to do with carrying and walking, and the right having to do with your purpose and the male side of us. So yeah, I mean, that is huge. Thank you, Rachel, for helping me remember that that was another piece here to this. So anyway, you guys got any, and there were more synchronicities that happened after that. I had to go to the airport. I met a chiropractor on the way. He knew about my show. He's been, watching stuff. He's Patriot. And when I went to the airport, the TSA agent made me take off my bracelet, and things got all weird. Everything got dumped over. Everything fell out. They're rushing us through. My mom, is dealing with vision issues and had her cane, and, I'm trying to help her with all her stuff falling out. And we're like rushing to get on the plane, and my bracelet got left. And right then the chiropractor like texted, says something about, good meeting you, blah, 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 and hope you're feeling better. And I don't really remember something. And I just like, oh, can you please pray and help me get and remember to have my bracelet restored to me, because I called the TSA place and it's like 6 in the morning or something, 7 in the morning Monday, and they're not open. And he's like, sure. And basically, by the time I landed in Dallas a few hours later, he had gotten his car, drove almost an hour, went to the TSA place, got my bracelet, showed me a picture of it, said, is this it? I'm like, oh my God, I'm crying. And then he showed the TSA agent guy that I was crying, and the guy got emotional too, because he was like, we really like happy endings. Because he had went up there and was like, hey, my friend left her bracelet. And the guy was like, hey, actually, we saw it. We were hoping somebody would come back for it. And we put it off to the side. And the chiropractor, Dr. Whip, was like, well, thanks for taking care of that, because I guess probably a lot of stuff shows up here. And, I guess those things could walk off and be gone. And he's like, no, actually, we really like happy endings. So when he saw that I had put crying, and then I told my mom, oh my God, my bracelet is found. And he sent it to, my mom started crying. And then I put, now my mom's crying. And then he showed the TSA guy, and the TSA got emotional. And he's like, now that's a happy ending. So, I mean, there was just like so different, so many. If we had time, I mean, this is everyday life. This is, if you are bored in your life, then you're not doing it right. And I spent a lot of time not doing it right. And then the downloads and the different things and putting things together. And, I detoxed, started using oil, started using crystals, really, really have a clean diet, spending a lot of time in nature, doing some great, great things, and things just start coming together, and really got some major concepts, which is how I wrote my book in 12 hours. I just literally, that's another miracle in itself. Just wrote the book in 12 hours. And so many testimonies have still come out from this book. And, the Science of Miracles, Remembering the Frequency of Love, is the subtitle. And this is how we do it. We are creators. We're co-creators. We're here co-missioning. We get to make our timeline. We get to do what we're called to do while we're here in the way that we want to do it. And when we remember, we do a great job, don't we? So, let's remember, let's hold fast, let's hold the line, let's work on our, our inside jobs in us. No pushing, no fighting, no trying, but just being and working. And I'm not saying don't make any action steps to do the things that we're called to do. Of course, there's right action, there's cause and effect, that's a law. But at the same time, this is just such a beautiful time to be and to collaborate, and we're finding each other, we're finding each other. And it's just been such a beautiful time. Jeannie Ellis says, I received that. My first crystal was in Destin because I had a dream that someone gave me a pink rock. That's right. I remember we were together, and you got a pink crystal quartz. That's awesome. Yes. Left lower back represents not feeling like God is supporting you. So a good decree for that is God fully supports me. I'm fully God supported. God is the only power and presence here, and I am fully God supported. I'm fully God funded. I saw you made like a Angry face, Tammy Todd. Are you angry? Sorry, I'm sorry that you're angry about that. Or maybe that was from a while back. I don't know what I said that made you angry, but yes, Tammy. Lower left side. Oh, left side is female side. Has to do with nurturing self. Right side would be male. So beauty and receiving on the left side, and putting out and purpose and job and male on the right side. So either way, God fully funds us. I am abundance. God is the only power and presence here. Those are some good ones. Let's see. Hips are symbolic of carrying children as well too. Yes, MJ, got that. Be blessed. Thank you, Carly. She says, I require this reminder. I should just shoot these up here. I don't know why I'm just reading them. The bracelet story brought tears to my eyes. Personal timeline. Becoming a larger collective timeline. Yes, manifest your reality. Awesome. Yes, someone's saying I need to get this book. Yes, definitely. You guys, get this and then report your miracles. Definitely report your miracles. Yes, Tammy. She says she didn't do it. It's up there on the top. It says Tammy Todd is angry, but it's okay. You can change it. If you click it again, it'll go away. Who else? Layers. We got Pastor Carmen in the house. Love that lady. We've been doing lots of stuff together. You guys need to check out her channel. Carmen, if you can, if you're still here, definitely put a link to your channel so people can go see what you're doing. We just finished a show a few minutes ago. Yes, we got lots of people who are still receiving the 180 in surrender for their entire being in their cells. And let's see what else. What oils am I rubbing on my back? Good question. I'm actually putting Valor on. Valor will actually shift your brain waves immediately and tuck away everything that could be fight or flight, shutting down cortisol levels, and turning on courage. Yes. Higher vibration. Yes. Someone's from the south. Y'all, thank you. Awesome. Thank you too. I need to get some crystals. Rachel, looking forward to getting the book. Yeah, Rachel, thank you so much for helping me remember about the tattoo part. I receive. Tammy says, I have no idea where I got the anger face. If you go in the emojis of the Facebook, then it's there. So anyway, I guess that's about it. Do you guys have anything else? We can talk for a couple more minutes. Oh, of course it's 9:21, at least where I am, because my grandfather is here. We're talking about him. Yes, thank you, Fawn. What a great name. I only met one Fawn before. Reaching for Valor Now, Carly Cruz, and TSA gave nonverbal sun words. He's talking like great. The TRS gave my nonverbal sun words. Interesting. Okay. Well, you guys have a great night. Have a great weekend. Unless you have any questions, I guess I will call it a night and go drink all my green juice and my tea and my keto other tea. We got more people receiving. Jan is here. Michelle is here. Deborah says she receives. Yeah, do me a favor and report your miracles to me. I am believing that even this thing tonight activated many, and that we are going to see some instant results here. Instant. I'm all about instant. Yep, 9:21, buddy. Awesome. Love you, Janine. Love you, Jeannie. Hey. All right. You guys have a great night. Have a great weekend. Go do love. Go remember your love. Go ignite Christ in everyone you contact. And we will chat soon. All right. Bye. Oh, hey, share this with everybody, please. You never know who might get a miracle just watching this or get activated. That's important. I always forget to say that. And get the newsletter. Gosh, I refocus and I remember to remind you, get on the newsletter, and share this. Super important. Do your due diligence and help me get this word out so we can change the whole world. How about that? All right. Bye. For real, bye.